Let's go. All the hits.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn it up.
Most played.
Are you ready?
This is Max Hits.
That's about that time.
Hey.
I got hit music. Yeah.
Max Hits. Yeah.
Are you ready?
This is Max Hits.
That's about that time.
Hey.
I got hit music. Yeah.
Max Hits. Yeah.
Let's go. All the hits.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn it up.
Most played.
Stories untold, full envelope. Ya no feel let me lose control. I know be storyteller. What I love is to stack in my jaja. Make I dey go even solo. I know fi fall, no fi let go. I know be vuvuzela. Me no like to dey talk like never. I know they cross in my lane. I'm living like us at the bay. Yeah, or something when they. I know they cross in my lane. I'm living like us at the bay. Yeah, or Sunday window. Ah, Sunday window. Oh, Sunday window. Ah, Sunday window. Oh, Sunday window. Ah, oh, Sunday window. Oh, Sunday window. Ah, oh, Sunday window. Oh, Sunday window. Sometimes I feel like I'm supernatural, but I'm only human. I'm only human. I'm human. Most times I feel like I walk on water, but I'm only human. I know be Jesus, yeah, I know be Jesus. Oh. I know they cross in my lane. I'm living like us at the bay, yeah, us at the window. I know they cross in my lane. I'm living like us at the bay, yeah, us at the window. Ah, us at the window. Us at the window. Ah, us at the window. Us at the window. Ah, us at the window. Us at the window. Ah, us at the window. Us at the window. I know they cross in my lane. I'm living like us at the bay. Yeah, us at the window. I know they cross in my lane. I'm living like us at the bay. Yeah, us at the window. But yeah.
Let's go. All the hits.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn it up.
Most played.
Are you ready?
This is Max Hits.
That's about that time.
Hey.
I got hit music. Yeah.
Max Hits. Yeah.
Are you ready?
This is Max Hits.
That's about that time.
Hey.
I got hit music. Yeah.
Max Hits. Yeah.
Let's go. All the hits.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn it up.
Most played.
He's a production.
Let's go. All the hits.
Yeah.
Turn it up.
Most played.
Are you ready?
This is Max Hits.
Now it's about that time. I got hit music. Yeah. All the hits.
Max Hits. Yeah.
Argentina, champions of the world.
Muhammad Ali was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky on January 17, 1942. His birth name was Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. He began training as an amateur boxer at age 12, and at 18 he won a gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the 1960 Summer Olympics and turned professional later that year. In his early years as a professional, Clay was more highly regarded for his charm and personality than for his ring skills. He sought to raise public interest in his fights by reading childlike poetry and spouting self-descriptive phrases like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. On February 25, 1964, at age 22, he pulled off a major upset, defeating Sonny Liston to win the World Heavyweight Championship. That same year, he shocked the boxing establishment again by denouncing his birth name as a slave name and formally took the name Muhammad Ali, which was given to him by his spiritual mentor Elijah Muhammad, leader of the Nation of Islam. For the next 3 years, Ali dominated the boxing arena. Then, on April 28, 1967, citing his religious beliefs, Ali refused induction into the U.S. Army at the height of the Vietnam War.
Thank God it's Friday on YourView. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Tokwe Makodige. How are you?
I'm very good. I've actually not sat down here in a very, very long time because I know some people like to sit down here, so I end up to sit down anywhere else. So it's interesting to have to sit here. You two of you dodged this place. It's been a full week of being on the show every day. It's very interesting. I feel like I'm up to date on all that is happening politically and non-politically in Nigeria. But it's also been a full week of doing my real estate mentorship and mastery program, and the feedback has been, don't worry, I did not want to, you traveled, expenses are plenty, there's no need. Let's just do like you did not make that program. Because I actually feel that there were 2 people that were in the venue that had won cars from previous companies. So these people have been in the industry long before me, and they're sitting down to learn from me, asking questions, and they keep saying we've gotten so much value. So I'm grateful to God that I chose to dream and do. You know, many people dream and they don't execute on those dreams, and I think it's extremely important. There are so many lives waiting for you to execute on your dreams. So please, as many of you watching, just go for it. Even if it's just one person that shows up, at least that person will be impacted by whatever you decide to do.
Fantastic. Well done. Congratulations. Exactly. Hello, Ramat. I haven't seen you in a while.
Honestly,
I know you've been coming. It's me that I've been
I've not been around yet.
Yes. How are you doing?
We're fine. We just finished Ramadan, so at least we have some small time to rest.
Ram?
No, this is not the one that we killed.
I know, but
the one in 2 months.
My neighbor killed Ram.
No.
My neighbor, very rich man. Ram yesterday.
That's good though.
Now did Suya Ram.
Oh my God, you guys enjoy.
We were on shampoo till hey, and the guy, I have to greet him with Moshood. Thank you. They did fantastic Ram, and we aired the whole neighborhood. We had with the grills, with party, with music, correct, everything.
We just did fried rice, jollof rice, normal stuff in the house, cake and everything, and then just relaxed. Friends came in, and then we had a wonderful time. And also today is my dad's 70th birthday. If we're another tribe in Nigeria, I won't mention that tribe. The party that will have gone tomorrow, we shut down. We shut down Lagos.
Before you know, 70, you know, just walk up.
Oh no, it's not possible. We say daddy turned 40, daddy turned 70, daddy turned 70.
You guys are not doing any party?
I'm not doing anything. We just wish him happy birthday.
Wow.
Life.
It's not easy to turn 70.
It's not easy.
My mother's 70. They hear her. They hear her.
I'm just imagining my dad standing in front of cake and plenty people be like, like,
I know. We gotta rock it. We gotta rock
it.
Amaka Fresh.
Yeah,
how you doing?
I'm good. So yes, I'm meeting her for the first time.
No.
Yes. So
we're planning a retreat. All of us to come together.
I know, super amazing. So with the long holiday, it's been a work holiday for me, but I made sure to work and also enjoy. Trust me now. And then yesterday was the birthday bash for Obi Kubana. This is a big shout out to Obi Kubana.
That's today's birthday.
Zora 1. Yes, so tonight we will book. It's going to be a long weekend of fun. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. You know. So yes, started yesterday night at the dinner. And then we now continue today. So Obi Kubana, happy birthday! Wishing you all the best ever.
Fantastic, that's good. All you party rockers, all the Lagos rockers. But me, I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Mr. Moshood. Yesterday, I really enjoyed the hangout. Yesterday, we had fun in the house, in the neighborhood. We got music, you know. He gave me shampoo, and I'm like, YK. I was putting YK's spirit on, but I thank God for sanity.
You controlled.
We had lots of suya. Was fantastic. I've not had ram suya. I think it's been a while. Ram suya is unbelievable.
Ram suya is different.
It's
parties now.
because we don't eat it all the time.
Yeah, we don't.
Because we don't eat it all the time.
Ram suya is a different level. What?
Ram meat is different.
They're not put super suya spice. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That thing was on point.
Yes.
Mariah is a foodie, so
no. I love. No. I was taking plates and I was rushing into my house. Yeah, my house. We had take. I go back again. I take another plate. I was sharing the love. Let's go on a break. It's Friday. When we come back, we'll go to the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. All right, we're going to start with the nation.
Air Peace's entry sparks airfare war on Lagos-London routes and others. Tributes flow for ex-minister Ogbonaya Onu. Zenith Bank records 125% growth in gross earnings. Deepening boardroom crisis tears Eco Disco apart. Okay, that's any story here?
Okay, yes, so I have the airpeace story. So airfares on European routes have crashed considerably following the entry of airpeace into the Lagos-London routes with lower fares. The reduction in fares by foreign airlines, some experts fear, may be part of the unwholesome practices by major carriers to harass the Nigerian carrier out of the Lagos-London route. Airpeace's inaugural flight was on March 30th. However, some experts have noted that the reduction in airfares may be connected with the strengthening of the Naira, clearance of the backlog of funds owed by foreign carriers by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Even though they're saying, some experts are saying that the owner of Airpeace Airline, Allen Onyema, is saying otherwise. He's saying that they're trying to do that and really trying to go, to sabotage Airpeace and to really go below the normal the normal cost of fares, and that their countries are supporting them to do that, which is wrong, right? In order to frustrate them out. But then I'm also happy that yesterday he stated that Airpeace route from Lagos to London is fully booked up until September, and I've not bought my ticket.
I bought my ticket already.
I'm so sad. You bought your ticket already?
Yes, August.
So long. I said,
I bought my ticket.
Yesterday, I said, oh my goodness, like, why did I wait so?
No.
I'll figure it out. I'll find a way out.
What?
Yes,
I have bought my ticket quickly. But I wanted to upgrade, but I don't know if I'll be able to upgrade it.
So, yes. So it was also said that a large part, to the best of their knowledge, CBN has cleared a large part of the backlog.
Yes,
but then Allen Onyema also said that when he was that they need government support, because when he was living in the UK, that the UK airlines didn't buy aviation fuel at the same cost as foreign airlines. But in Nigeria, they're buying at the same cost. And so the Nigerian government really has to support Airpeace right now. In order to,
it reminds me of the whole High TV story. Same thing.
Yeah.
We needed government support at the time.
Yes.
So right now we have this, and we need to. Government must back it up. Back it, everything. It happened with us. That's why High TV. That's one of the reasons why.
Between all the
look at the prices have really dropped. British Airways has dropped. Virgin, everybody has dropped.
I was going to say the local indigenous companies will struggle with globally supported companies.
It happened
if Nigeria doesn't support its own.
Multi-choice was backed by the government back then. We didn't have that kind of backing when ITV was trying to survive. So listen, we just need to support this man's business the best we can. Okay, another story in the nation. I was going to take the story with Eco Disco. So directors in the boardroom, they said that the boardroom crisis is thickening and is deepening. They're bickering over what they described as undue personalization of board authority, abuse of due process, and vested interest. For managerial crisis around alleged ghost workforce and call for proper investigation. The crisis obviously has deepened and engulfed the entire company and its private holding companies. If you recall, there were a crisis between the MDs being sacked or not being sacked. One of the 11 discos controlled, they control about 1/6 of power distribution across several regions within Lagos-Ogun axis. According to the documents obtained, the crisis has become a polar fight between the chairman, Mr. Otubu, and the few directors on one side, majority of the directors on the other side. So both are having a lot of bickering going on, but we just hope that they can resolve this quickly, because we don't want it to affect the service that they are rendering to customers.
So really sad story, the story about the passing of the former Minister for Science and Technology and the first civilian governor of Abia State, Dr. Ogbonaya Onu, who served as the immediate past administration of President Buhari before he now resigned to step into was aspiring to become the governor, stepped down. He was 73 years old. He was an author, engineer. The president, the current president, President Tinubu, the former president, President Buhari, as well as many other dignitaries have, they mourn, they sent their condolences. He's someone that has explored many areas of interest and succeeded in those areas, serving his country, building and our heart goes out to his entire family. He governed Abia State before there was creation of Abia and Ebonyi State, so it was more like the old Abia states. It was a major under the platform of the Nigerian Republican Convention. Our heart goes out to his family. This is like an exit of a giant in terms of governance, in terms of politics, and in terms of his dedication towards the growth of Nigeria. So our heart goes out to the family.
Okay, so I have a story.
Nisha?
Yes, I have a story on Zenith Bank, a short story actually. Zenith Bank records high. Zenith Bank PLC has achieved 125% growth in gross earnings to 2.132 trillion in this audited result for the year ended December 31st, 2023. The gross earnings represents remarkable triple digits growth compared with 945.6 billion reported in 2022. The growth, they say, is primarily due to growth in interest and non-interest income, which increased from 112%, than 540 billion in 2022 to 1.1 trillion in 2023. Growth is attributed to the growth in the size of risk assets and their effective repricing, alongside the rise in the yield of the other interest becoming instruments.
Okay. Moving on quickly now to the Punch. FG plans compensation in 9 states puts cost at 15 trillion naira. Wigwe Ogumbajo's family sues U.S. firm for helicopter crash. Law to terminate many cases at appeal court coming, says AGF. Nigeria's oil production drops again, now 1.23 barrels per day, says OPEC. Government shuts Dosumil Market. Sanwo-Olu hints at building demolition. Junior Pope, AGN suspends Riverside movie shootings. Police launch probe. NAFDAC bans Turkey-made soap, tracks fake Indian injection powder actually, and make Yoruba teaching language in Southwest schools, says Afenifere. Okay, which story are we starting with? I'm not sure we have time for that. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one better.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shiny, yeah. So recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Check it out.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym though, you're getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
The empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person you see us? What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's get talk now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment for Pure Entertainment.
This is 7 Up J and signing a sobriety into my hands tonight on this social experiment called the 7 of 7.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Amaka has a story. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this story really saddens my heart because this was an avoidable death. Yeah, it was a Black Wednesday for the Nollywood family and fans of actor Paul Udonwu, popularly known as Junior Pope, as he met his untimely death while on board a boat crossing the River Niger on Wednesday. Like from what we heard too and what we saw, the videos that I saw, nobody, they weren't wearing, they were like 12 on the boat, and they weren't wearing life jackets. None of them was wearing life jackets. And then one of the men on the boat actually said he offered, before the journey started, he poured Fanta into the river, and then he threw in some notes, some Naira notes, and then also threw in some snacks, pieces of snacks that he was eating, and said that it's to appease the gods for them for Johnny Messi, for them to be able to cross over. And then that he also gave some kids that were playing around the river some money, and that Junior Pope had asked him, like, why are you doing that? And he said it's for safe passage, that you have to do that, you have to give something for safe passage. We also saw from the video that Junior Pope was also doing a live, like a video saying that they should take it easy. He's the only child. I have 2 children. Nami go train them. And it's so sad that this kind of thing happened. And then what also caught my attention in the whole saga is the fact that, the emergency response came immediately when this happened. That was why some people were actually rescued. But what really hurt me, I saw a video where they said they took him to the mortuary, and then they said he was still alive. Instead of taking him, instead of taking him to the, he was still alive. Instead of taking him to the hospital, I saw the video. I remember, I wondered, this was crazy. It took a long time for them to drive back to the forest or wherever it is they went to the river, and then they carried him to do the rituals. And I was watching this, I'm saying, are these people okay? What's going on here? Are these people not educated enough to know that in situations like this, you should take the person to the hospital?
Common sense is not common.
Honestly.
Because the emergency response is a major problem, because we could, from the drama that happened, there was a lot of speculation. Is he dead? Is he not dead? Oh, he's alive. And I now heard that it was the ritual before they called back to the hospital.
My sister said something. She said that may God not allow us be with the wrong people at the wrong time.
Yes.
They were supposed to have rushed him to the hospital immediately. They said he was still alive at the mortuary.
But is there no law that doesn't allow the people the community to take the body instead of the emergency response team to handle whatever that is going on at that point in time?
Really sad indeed. Let me take the story of NAFDAC. NAFDAC, that's the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, has banned the sale of a Turkey-made Dex luxury bar soap. It's really popular soap. It's also called on Nigerians to watch out for the counterfeit Tandak injection powder made in India. These, they're saying, are they're products that have been barred. NAFDAC on its website said Dex luxury bar soap does not comply with cosmetic products regulation. It contains quite a few components that is being barred, and that has a risk of harming reproductive systems, causing harm to health and the unborn child.
Wow.
As a result of the ban of the marketing of the product, it has been placed on some regulatory and public authorities. So NAFDAC is saying that soap is not, should not be used. It's quite harmful for usage. And there was another product they said that that's been barred also. That's the Tandak injection powder made in India. This is the healthcare professionals and consumers are advised to report any suspicion of adverse reactions or substandard falsified regulation concerning this particular powder for injection. How do regular Nigerians know?
How will I know which injection?
So these are healthcare workers.
Yes, they should watch out.
Okay, another story in Punch.
Yeah, so I have the Dosimu shutdown of the market. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State has vowed that more buildings will be demolished to allow for proper cleanup of the Dosimu market.
Interesting.
Yeah, because when the fire came up, when the fire was out, they were trying to go and put it off, but the people refused to. They didn't allow those people to have access to it. And if you notice, most of the buildings in that market, they are so close to each other, they are clustered together, and then you now find out that there are generators by the side of the building. Everybody just putting generators anywhere and all. So 14 buildings were affected. And then he said they're going to demolish the whole park, and he's going to take his time. He's not going to open the markets anytime soon. He's going to take his time and make sure that all the necessary
That's why we buy souvenirs,
and I don't think he's only those
all our parties. How we
All
now
the
get
parties,
souvenirs?
summer is coming, everything.
And I think he needs to do the whole Balogun market, honestly, because
It's
every
easy
now
for you
and
to
then.
say it, but some people own Balogun, some people's family own houses.
and they have houses
Apart from that, and some people's businesses shut down for 3 months. That's like the end of it.
That area is my village. That entire place, my village. How can you go and just demolish my village like that? Demolish my village.
For health and safety, at the end of the day,
important, because every
health
now
and
and
safety at
then.
the end of the day trumps any other thing.
All right.
Yeah, I want to take the story about Yoruba language. So while I was in Akure, Murayo, we need to bring this guy on the show. This is an Oyinbo, is a Oyinbo Babalawo from Mexico, and he was speaking Yoruba, and he was saying all this our native Ijile, Ewi, Owe, and all of that. So I already got his number that I'll bring him on the show. But the Afenifere Pan Yoruba Social political organization, Afenifere, on Thursday said that we should make Yoruba compulsory. That Yoruba is the deep Yoruba is fading out of our southwest region, and that they're deliberating on how to make it a compulsory language between primary and secondary within Southwest. So it is compulsory in primary, but it is optional in secondary. But they're saying we should make it compulsory so that the expression, people's expression, would be deepened in Yoruba, especially in other areas of the south. So in Lagos, you feel they're a modern city, but some other southwestern states that are not even as open still don't allow their children in primary school to speak Yoruba language. So the meeting today is going to encourage governments and government officials to create support and boost the use of Yoruba language. In that same conference in Akure, there was a competition, and there was prize money for those who could interpret the English to Yoruba, and it was interesting to see. I failed all of this, all the questions.
Well, you know, this speaking of language starts from home. Actually, we parents, we don't even speak our language, our mother tongue to our kids. Most of them don't know how to speak their mother tongue.
I'm grateful that we are all working with
it. Grandma.
It's not grammar. It's not grammar anything. Grammar is not.
Just have to be.
Vanguard. Lagos Calabar Coastal Road uproar over cost as federal government proposes 3,000 naira per toll gate. Hey, I didn't read that story. Who has that story?
I read it.
Oh, very good. Please, we need to read that story. Odili declares Fubara leader of PDP in Rivers. Junior Pope half Fanta money I sprayed in river saved. Oh, half Fanta money I sprayed in river saved me, say survivor.
Yeah, that was
that story. Christian elders to Tinubu adopt the 2014 Confab report. Wigwe, while Ogumbanjo's family sued charter company over helicopter crash. Minister apologizes for saying Nigerians keep freezers on due to low tariff. Okwama, army invades another Delta community, arrests 10, raises homes. And manufactured goods imports rise by 269% to 9 trillion naira, exports decline. Okay, which story?
So the major headline, which is about the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road, which many of us in real estate have been using to market. Some of our estates are there if you're interested. But anyway, the sad story is that the good story, let me start with the good story. Landmark property will remain intact. So they said the 700-kilometer road will not, there will be no loss of job. That our minister for works, we must hail him. David Umahi is working. This one, I'm not going to even. He said that he visited the place himself and said that it's going to cut into 50 meters of the land, but it's going to only affect the shorelines. It's not affecting his property, his building itself, which means people might not be able to access, and it is being marketed. It will affect the business a bit, but maybe they'll be able to find a solution after the construction has taken place, because it is marketed as a beachfront, and access to the shoreline is part of the selling point of that particular location. He also mentioned that there will be no permanent structural damage, no jobs will be lost, and that he's interested in ensuring that we preserve what is working on ground. Then he said that they proposed a 3,000 naira toll fee on vehicles passing. I recall reading that there was 1,005 for cars and 3,000 for other kind of vehicles that will be along that way. He said, let me just concentrate on the tolls and put 50,000 vehicles on an average passing that road will make the money. Putting 3,000 to 1,500 per car. Big trucks can pay 5,000, cars, jeeps, 3,000. In 15 years, we can make back the money. and dismiss the call on the cost of the budget of the road being high, because the road will be costing a lot of money, just covering for the buildings that would, the collapse that will take place will be costing 1.5 billion. So like there's a lot of money that we used to pay for compensation along that road. But he's saying that according to his calculations, when they toll the road, by the time you just get more cars to pass through, you make that money back. And I think that's the mindset of people that are thinking development within the society. So
Lagos to Calabar,
it will be straight, smooth road. Wow. It would encourage a lot of businesses, and it will decongest. They can then have time to fix the old other roads that have gotten bad over the years.
Okay,
so I think
let's find another story in Vanguard. So the National Christian Elders Forum, NCEF, have urged our president to adopt the recommendations of the CONFAP report back 2014. Speaking at the press briefing, chairman of the forum, Dr. Samuel Gani, highlighted the relentless assault by Islamist insurgents in the north and the displacements caused by foreign invaders across Nigeria. He said this is the time for indigenous ethnic groups to carefully distinguish their allies from their adversaries. The extensive loss of life in Nigeria involving indigenous Christians and Muslims and traditionalists demonstrates that these groups face a common enemy, which is the foreign invaders. So the ongoing violence in Nigeria is not driven by indigenous ethnic groups. Regrettably, some local actors have been misled into believing they were pursuing a religious cause, but the real orchestrators are those foreign invaders, and we must do everything we can to, when we do this, when we implement this CONFAB report, that everybody can then be able to have some kind of become a stakeholder in the issue of security within their various regions.
Okay, so I have Ugeli, troops of the Nigerian army conducting a cordon and search operation over the March 14 killing of 17 military personnel at Okwama, Unugeli South local government area of Delta State yesterday invaded another community, Olota, and allegedly whisked away no fewer than 10 persons. This came on the day senior advocates of Nigerians and retired judges ripped apart the board of inquiry considered by defense headquarters to investigate the March 14 killing of military personnel at Okwama, saying he had no powers to do so because you cannot be a judge in your own matter. But Vanguard could not reach Mr. Prosper, the President General of the Olota, but an eyewitness said the military men left with the community's chairman, Mr. Matthew Olopa, and over 10 others, and that they raised down some people's houses, that most of the jetties that were around there, all the boats that were around the jetty, all the speedboats, that they took them away with. They went away with them. So I'm wondering, like, are the military police, are they looking for more trouble? That they just finished the inquiry of the one that, before starting another, brouhaha. So,
all right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. When we come back to our sponsor segment. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show YourView, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Rush on.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison. Listen, man, we had a Kuti in the view. It's still 7 of 7, and we've been doing a whole lot of protesting. The only thing that remains is just to carry placard.
It's about 5 of 7, to be honest, because ask your question. I have so much to speak about once we finish.
We'll not give you the time because it's 7 of 7.
I will make the time now. He said he will not ask questions about science.
No.
About neuroplasticity.
And based on
he asked a question that was subjective about high life, and he did not finalize his answer about a Kuti question where there are only 3 of us.
Editor, scratch this part out.
That could have possibly composed the music.
Editor, scratch this part out.
Thanks for staying with us. We have a special interview in celebration also for International Women's Month. We're going to shed a bit of light on an incredible initiative that supports women in pursuing internationally recognized degrees. Joining us on the studio is Mercy Ishofune Sado.
Yes.
Yes, she's the CEO of GAMEC Infrastructure, remarkable UNICAF student, and most importantly, mother. And also we have Ayodele Olasami, who is UNICAF Marketing and PR Manager. Welcome you both to the show.
Thank you so much.
So before I go into Mercy's experience at UNICAF, let me start with you.
All right.
Tell us about UNICAF and its offerings.
Okay, well, I would like to start with UNICAF is a global online education platform tailored to provide online and on-campus programs for students and individuals who are looking to upskill their careers. We are able to achieve this in partnership with universities in the United Kingdom, United States, and in Africa. In the UK, we are in partnership with the University of East London, University of Suffolk, and the Liverpool John Moores University. In the US, we're in partnership with the University of Riverside, California, where we offer short courses. We have a huge presence in Africa, in 12 countries in Africa, including Malawi and Zambia. So what we have done is currently our university in Zambia is a state-of-the-art multi-million-dollar investment in tech. We are looking to ensure that individuals don't necessarily have to come to the short 4 walls of the university before they have access to education. And that's why we are constantly pushing online degrees for all and sundry, and we are doing this through the UNICAF scholarship scheme.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think I should come to you, Mercy. I would like to find out from you, what has your experience been in the program? UNICAF.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Studying online through UNICAF, has been a wonderful experience so far. The program has been very helpful to me as a mother, as a woman. And of course, all the experiences I've got, even before I got into UNICAF, I've been able to build on myself. And of course, I've been able to work on, certain areas like emotional intelligence as well, because an MBA program is actually a group program that is actually very necessary, for any entrepreneur that is looking forward to, building on the skills that he or she has actually acquired, so
You're
far.
doing the MBA program?
Yes.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. So this question is for Messi. So how about the UNICAF scholarship, and how has that played a role in your educational journey?
Okay. The UNICAF scholarship is a game changer for me, I would say, because I was given a generous scholarship, which reduced the cost of my fees considerably, plus the fact that I get to pay the rest balance of my fees on a monthly installment.
You spread it out.
Yes, you spread it out, And then, of course, the UNICAF online platform is very easy to navigate, and then it creates that enabling environment for you to actually study at ease, and at the same time, you get to, take time off after each module, for you to actually attend to other things like family issues, and work,
Oh. So I want to come to you, sir, because it seems that UNICAF, one of the things that UNICAF keeps pushing is support for making it easy for people to attain education.
Yes.
Why exactly is that your goal, and I feel like there's a bigger goal to this, for you to get more women into education or something. What's it about?
Okay, put it this way, serving the underserved, that's what we are looking at. And you will understand that the glass ceiling approach is quite the in thing in any industry today. Most women are relegated to the background, and we are looking at it that, okay, the men doesn't have to steal the show all the time. There are some women that, if given the opportunity, they will thrive more than men in their various workplaces. So we are looking at it this way: offer generous scholarships, come and study with us online, upskill your career, grow yourself, arm yourself with the necessary degree and the skill sets that you need, so that in your workplace you won't be relegated and you'll be a force to reckon with.
Let me come back to Messi. So how did you find UNICAF, and why did you choose the master's degree program in business administration?
Okay, I got to know UNICAF through online. I saw their posters on social media, and of course I read nice comments as well from friends. And before then, I had already made up my mind to study for an MBA program, so I did my research. And, later on I found out that it was pretty much easy, to study through UNICAF, because it gives you access to do other things as well, So I put in for it, and since then it's been wonderful, starting from the application process, which was very seamless, take it down to the tutors, the student advisors, who are always very much available to take you through every challenges that you may come across as a student, and since then it's been a game changer for me.
Okay, so I'm happy from what you've said. It's crucial to note that UNICAF supports the work-life balance, especially for students, and prioritizing the students' life. So before I move on to the in spirit of the International Women's Day, can you share a word of encouragement and empowerment for women who want to also embark on such academic journey?
Yes, I would like to encourage women out there who would want to pursue an MBA program to stand fearless, be courageous and push through, because the UNICAF scholarship is actually a great opportunity. It's a game changer for every woman out there who is looking out for, and having a higher academic qualification added to their current profile. And of course, it's never too late. You being a woman, you need to be fearless as well, either single, young, old, or married. You can as well achieve it, because education is a key, that can actually boost, your future, either for you or for your family as well. Yeah.
Okay, so Dele, you talked about a few degrees across. I want you to touch on, because people that when they hear UNICAF, they're thinking UK. We are saying there's US and there is even within Africa. So they can go to universities within Africa that are certified under UNICAF. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
what degrees are available?
UNICAF is strictly online.
Okay.
We have bachelor's master's up to PhD level. For our UK universities, you study strictly online. The University of East London, where Messi is currently undergoing our MBA program, we have the Liverpool John Moores University and the University of Suffolk. Now, for our universities in Africa, you can study online and you have the opportunity to do a sort of blended mode of learning in the universities of Malawi and Zambia, where UNICAF is currently resident. And so, basically speaking, we are pushing online scholarship, online education. We are looking to break the barrier of having to sit down in classroom 247 when you can tailor your schedule to your own pace, work out your own schedule, say, okay, this moment, you can, tomorrow is a Saturday, I can decide tomorrow morning, okay, between the hours of 9 and 1 p.m., I want to attend lectures, I want to answer my questions, I need to do my assignments, work on my projects, and all of those things. That type of convenience is what UNICAF is actually pushing.
Okay. When you say this scholarship, is there really scholarship?
There is.
Scholarship, and the scholarship is not scholarshiping. Is there really scholarship?
There is actually scholarship. There is. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Currently, an average master's degree program will cost you in the neighborhood of 15 to 19,000 pounds or US dollars. So we are telling you that, okay, come to UNICAF. Let's give you up to 75% scholarship. Come and study with us online. Let's take off the financial stress with you. Don't travel, just come and do it online with us. There's no discrimination in degrees. All you just need to do is remain focused. Anybody that studies in the US, in University of East London, if I go to University of East London physically, it's not different from what Messi is currently studying.
Absolutely.
The modules are the same. The experience are the same. So what do you have to lose?
And you pay about 70%.
Then you pay just less. You pay the remaining 25 or 20%.
Wow.
And sometimes your resume even speaks to your scholarship level.
Messi, can you confirm what he's saying? The
Yes.
percentages?
Miss Colin.
Absolutely, yes.
Scholarship is scholarship.
It is.
Certainly, yes. You know, it's actually very wonderful. You know, looking at it from the angle of, okay, you have opportunity to do other things as well. I'll speak for myself as an entrepreneur. I still go about my normal business activities. I take care of my home as well. And at the same time, most especially in the evenings, I run my studies, you know, and it's actually very convenient.
Right.
The fees are very considerable as well.
So we have to wrap up with it. But let me do any final words on where do we find UNICAF, online, phone numbers, how do you reach UNICAF?
Okay, well, I would like to add that for individuals who are willing to take advantage of the UNICAF scholarship scheme, what they can do is to call us on 07000 111 000. You can reach us via phone call or on WhatsApp. So I take it again. 07000 111 000.
Oh, easy. Okay. So they can reach you, and then you're also online.
Yeah, we're also online.
Discounts are also available on the undergrads, the bachelors.
Yes.
No, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
It cuts across.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
That's
having
all
us.
we can take on this segment. Up next is our special guest for today. The Minister of Power himself is in the building and will be having a conversation with the elders, the female elders of Nigeria. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay.
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink. Huh? No problem.
Okay.
I've always known this as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that You know, I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. You know,
it's supposed to be, yeah.
I just said, look, I give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
Wait, I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
Final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final answer.
You don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
how many cameras do they have? My
Nikon.
friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now. Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
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 So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become subterfuge. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake.
Thanks for staying with us. So our guest today, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has criticized Nigerians for leaving their refrigerators, air conditioners running while they are away from home, citing a lack of awareness from electricity consumption. That was what was trending, but he has come around to say that's not how he said it, and it was misrepresented and misinterpreted. However, he's here with us on the show, Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you.
I'm happy to be here too.
You know, we've been doing quite a bit of media rounds, and we're welcome you to the Council of Women, which is the Council of Nigerian Women.
I'm honored.
We love to have you because there are a lot of issues concerning power.
Yes.
And we know you've been interviewed very recently amongst even yesterday night, and we watched the interview and we understand a few of the things you've said. And concerning the refrigerator issue, you said it yesterday that that was not how it was, what you were just saying. You were saying jokingly, and you offered an apology, which we accept. Your apology didn't mean it that way, we understand. But one of the things I'd like to start with, I know if the ladies allow me to start with, is that I got from your interview was that you, Mr. President, and all the stakeholders realized that you needed to inject liquidity into the power sector.
Yes.
And you said, where can I find the money? If I ask Nigerians to pay this money, they will scream. So let us find all those Banana Island, 15% of the consumers, those ones that they have small change. Let us quadruple or triple their tariff and get them to bear the brunt of this liquidity we are looking for. Now, the question is, was that a fair thing to do? Or is it even a legal thing to do to segment 15% of your consumers to have them pay that 225 tariff, Naira tariff? Is that fair? Was that a fair decision?
Thank you very much. Once again, I say good morning to you ladies.
Good morning.
And I want to appreciate you for the good job that you've been doing. It's all in the line of national service.
Yes.
And we appreciate you. Just keep it up. To start with, let me also make reference to your opening statement with regards to what transpired in the last press briefing that we had, which I confirmed last night that I was actually quoted out of context. That was actually a genuine, innocent advice to my fellow Nigerians that we should start cultivating the culture of consumption management. And that advice was not even directed at everybody. But I'm a Nigerian, and I know that a lot of people still are faced with epileptic power supply. I would not say, oh, you don't have up to 10 hours of supply, switch off your freezer. I will not say that. Switch off your AC, I will not say that. We are saying for those that we are targeting now, the band A, in our transformation journey, once you start having stable electricity, the fact that we increase the tariff by over 200% does not automatically translate into 200% increase in your bill if you can manage it properly when you start having more than 20 hours of supply. That was my innocent advice. And I even passed it across jokingly in a very comical manner. I never knew it was going to be blown up. I know Nigerians are touchy. Nigerians are angry based on what they have suffered in the past in terms of energy poverty. So, like I said, it's like a case of a landlord and a tenant. Yeah. When there's a disagreement, whether it's the tenant that is at fault, you must be the one to apologize. Okay. If it's the landlord, you must apologize and say, okay, no problem, just bear with us. But the good thing out of this is that the thing has provoked a national discourse with regards to the state of our electricity. It has created a national awareness. And the message was also not lost in all this. People are now aware that consumption management is very key to reducing our energy costs. So I'm happy for that. Now, coming back to the differential pricing and the segmental pricing of electricity. Let me tell you, electricity is a product. At the same time, it's a social service. And if you have any industry, any sector, that operation is not allowed to follow the normal or natural commercial flow of commercial pricing of such a product, the industry is going to get terminated in a short while because investors, they need to recover their costs and if possible make a markup on their investments. But because of the criticality of the power sector, for energy, to everything we do, government is ready to ensure that everybody has access to energy. So you cannot treat it like the normal commercial product.
Okay.
So the first intention was, oh, can we remove the tariff completely? We said no, we cannot. Based on the fact that Nigerians are currently passing through a lot of hardships.
Yeah.
Based on certain recent decisions of government that are tough, but they are necessary. We have seen the harmonization of exchange rates that got the exchange rate escalated. We have seen the complete removal of the fuel subsidy. We have seen the inflation rate. We have seen so many things that have led to increase in cost of goods and services. And Nigerians are really suffering. Mr. President said, no, this is not the right time to remove subsidy completely. At the same time, the government that is bearing the subsidy, they are not able to source enough cash to back up this subsidy, which is why we have seen or witnessed the accumulated debt in the sector that we are owing the power sector operators, the generating companies, the gas supply companies, and all that. And it shows that there's paucity of fund and lot of other critical sectors competing for the same fund from government pockets.
Okay.
The subsidy requirement for 2024, for example, was to be about 2.9 trillion, almost 3 trillion naira. Our budget, yes, on power. Yes, our budget is 28 trillion. That is 10%. We are saying, no, let us be realistic. let's be a bit reasonable and considerate with government. Government can never afford to fund a 3 trillion. Over 10% of our budget. When other sectors are there, we have housing, we have works, we have defense, health, education, and other. We now say, okay, let's look for a middle ground position. Let's look for a high-end electricity consumers that we believe that even when they don't have regular power supply, they can easily afford generators, petrol or diesel to run. And we're saying, okay, if they could do this, why not let us ensure that this set of customers or consumers with very good infrastructure that is adequate enough to sustain stable electricity, let's start from them. Let's increase the tariff. We did not just quadruple or triple or double. It was not a random figure. We looked at what is the cost of producing electricity. Let them bear the full cost. Because this set of people are actually the ones that are consuming the larger portion of this subsidy. Yes.
You have the data.
Yeah, we do. We have the data. 15% of customers that we talk about 1.5 million out of over 12 million electricity consumers. Their consumption is about 40% of market consumption, which means that the remaining 85%, they are enjoying just 60% of the subsidy. We're saying no. At the end of the day, they are also better off by increasing the subsidy. Because the subsidy, the tariff that we have now, with the removal of subsidy for Band A, is still way cheaper than the cost of generating electricity individually by fuel or diesel-powered generator. So it was not arbitrary. It was scientifically and systematically arrived at. And we're saying that the power sector has stagnated for a long time. We must move forward. And once we want to move forward, let us start with a segment. And it's a stepwise transformation of the sector.
All the other bands are likely to have eventually, but they're starting with bands.
Once we are able to enhance or augment or upgrade the infrastructure that is necessary to provide them stable electricity, so there will be value for money. We cannot charge anybody a higher tariff if you cannot enjoy stable electricity that will make you remove your generator, that will make you not to spend money on petrol or diesel or even servicing the generator. So people will be better off. At the end of the day, the average cost will be much lower to every individual.
Okay.
But the promise and the pledge that we are making is that we will not increase any subsidy, any tariff when we are not sure of improvement in power supply.
Okay.
That is what we are saying. So which is why I said, it's going to be more like a migration. It's a journey.
Okay.
And we must start from
Let's
somewhere.
get a few questions.
So Nigerians should trust us. We didn't mean to hurt anybody.
Honorable Minister,
Thank you.
I've heard you. I am not a fan per se, because I felt that the power sector needs a whole lot more attention than I believe it's getting. And I'm sure you would admit that maybe it's an unfortunate thing that when you got into power, we seem to, all the problems now,
of course,
everything just came up just when you came in. Because I live in the Band A zone, and I'll say that we've experienced worse power supply in the past few months.
Yes.
So if I have experienced a constant deterioration of my power supply, we've had grid shut down back to back.
Yes.
And it affects everybody. And we've had that. We used to, truthfully, we used to have 24 hours, even 48. We were having days of no power outage. And we were told then that we were paying a cost-reflective cost. So I'm surprised now that suddenly the true actual cost-reflective is now 200 and something as opposed to what we were paying before.
63.
Yeah, we were paying 69.
69.
We're paying
63,
69. So some locations have different rates. They have different augmentations to the rates as well. But I don't want to talk much about Band A, because Band A is, like you said, a 15%.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the remaining 85%. The remaining 85% that they contribute money to buy transformer and they don't still have light. And they are the majority. And they are still experiencing power grid collapse. And it seems like you don't have any, you're not looking at them.
No. That's a misconception. We're looking at every Nigerian. We're looking at every electricity consumer. Let me first address what you said about all the problems summing up and crystallizing in the last two months. The problem in the power sector is an accumulated problem over the years, more than 50 years, since the days of ECN to NEPA. ECN is the Electricity Company of Nigeria in the 60s, to Nigeria Electric Power Authority, NEPA, to PHCN Power Holding Company of Nigeria. Before it was unbundled, and we had the generating companies, the transmission company, and the distribution companies. If certain steps had been taken in the past, probably would not be at this state. What we are witnessing today is the consequence or a reflection of the actions and inactions of past administration. But we're not complaining. We have taken over both the liability and the asset, and we must find a way out of this. We have never enjoyed stable electricity. Everybody knows I'm also in Nigeria. I live here, and I've lived there all my life. But what happened in the last 2 months? It's also the issue of subsidy. All the subsidies that we have been enjoying since like
Please,
10...
sir, how does the government pay subsidy on power? Because
I'm coming, I will explain that. The subsidy that we have been enjoying, they have not been fully funded by governments. So they have been accumulating as a debt to the generating companies, to transmission companies. And the companies have continued to produce and generate and transmit.
Let me pause.
I'm coming, let me just land on this.
Okay.
Despite the huge debt. But in February, they came up and said, government, you are owing us 1.3 trillion for generation. The gas companies are saying you are owing us $1.3 billion for supplying gas. You must start paying us now, except unless we will not produce again. And production or generation went down from 4,500 megawatts down to 3,000 megawatts. That was why you noticed that nationwide blackout in February. It was deliberate. The people refused. So it took me so much effort and energy to go around, still appealing to them that government has them in mind, that will start paying down now. That is what cost.
This is why I wanted you to pause, because I wanted what Okwei asked. Many Nigerians have that issue. They are not clear. So let me try to illustrate it. This is the Nigerian consumer. What we are paying is not cost reflective.
It's not.
We are not paying the true value of the tariff we should be paying.
Yes.
Government is saying, because I know you cannot afford it, I will pay subsidy to the Gencos. This is the Gencos. They are the ones generating. And this is a cost for their own generation. So, for example, generation is saying, okay, for me to produce for you, this is going to be 1,000 naira.
Yes.
But you can't afford 1,000 naira. You can only pay 100 naira. Me as government, I'll pay 900. That 900, they've been owing Gencos. They are not paying Gencos. Gencos now saying, this 900 you're not paying me, I'll be producing, no. But now that, after a while, say, wait, I'm not producing.
No, this is a new administration.
Pay us.
Let us.
So that's the issue. That's the subsidy part.
Let us compel them to start payments.
Okay, so we're clear.
You understand?
So we are clear on
Thank
that.
you very much.
Okay.
Because the past administration was outgoing.
Okay.
We didn't have much to squeeze out of them.
Okay.
But this is a renewed hope agenda administration. They are saying, oh, let us pull our weights for them to know that we are important, so that they can start paying down on the debt. You have illustrated the subsidy.
So now let me
properly.
just add, because I like Amaka and Ramat coming here.
Yes.
Just so that we are clear, because I like what I like about this show is that we break it down for Nigerians to understand.
Yes.
So what you're now saying, this 900 that I'm owing you, how do I find this money? You Banana Island people, you Band A people, right? You can afford. Pay some of it, because I'm owing them X trillion.
Does it go into
that's even going forward. That one is a legacy debt now.
Oh, so the money you're collecting from us is not to offset legacy.
It's not to offset.
What is the money for? What is this extra money that you're going to be collecting?
To ensure that we don't add more to the existing debts.
Yes, okay.
Because production is ongoing. Okay, just in 1 minute, you have just said it. You have hit the point now. Cost reflective, for sake of argument, is 120 naira.
Okay.
Ordinarily, if people are allowed to pay 120 naira, sincerely, there will be sustainability and continuity of this sector. Nobody will shout. Because out of the 120, the value chain is 3 segments: generation, transmission, and distribution. The cost to the Gencos, the capital investment, operation and maintenance cost, staff cost, 60 naira. There's a transmission company, which is the owner of the national grid, that undertakes the long distance transportation of power from the point of production to the point of distribution. That is TCN. Their own cost is 10 naira. The distribution companies that we have across Nigeria that takes power to the doorstep of household, businesses and industries, their own is 50 naira. So total is 120 that you should pay as a consumer. The distributors, the discos, are the closest to the people.
So they
They're the one that
collect on behalf of
collect
everybody.
of everybody. Once they collect 120, they will remove 15 naira at source. You give
Transmission.
70 to embed, that is the middleman. 10 naira from it will go to transmission. 60 will go to generation. The government said, no, I want my people to enjoy cheap electricity. Don't pay 120 naira. Pay 60 naira. That is 50% subsidy. And I will add 60 naira.
When did it start?
It has started since. I'm coming to
It was
that.
just not open.
Yeah, it was not. We have transparency now. Power sector has always been run like a cult. Nobody knows, which is why I said this our discourse has led to national awareness. So I'm saying now 60 naira collected from the consumer to the disco. Disco, of course, they will deduct their own full 50 naira.
Okay. Yes.
And there's 10 naira left. The 10 naira left,
they give it to embed.
Government, give it to embed. Embed will ask government, give me 60 naira to augment this so I can settle the other two operators. Government said, I don't have money.
Okay,
they will only distribute 10 naira between the two of them, which is that remaining 60 naira has now accumulated over time. That is it.
Since we have
go ahead, Ramat.
Okay, sir, since we have established the fact that, okay, this is the amount and all of that that is going to be this, what have you done in respect to making sure that all of us are all metered? That's the band A.
Thank you very much.
Band B. Band A.
Everybody,
all metered.
all
so
the
that
12 million customers, consumers. Let me tell you, like I told you,
can't be giving us
historically, I'm coming. Nobody likes estimated billing. When you have estimated billing, someone is cheating someone. Either the discos are cheating the customers, or the customers are cheating the disco, or the staff of the discos are cheating both the customers and so it is not acceptable. Currently, we have over 12 million electricity consumers. The mid-train penetration is just a little over 5 million. We have close to 8 million meter gap, which means that households, businesses, institutions, industries that are not metered, they are 8 million. There have been a lot of mass metering initiatives in the past, accelerated metering initiatives in the past. I will tell you too, CBN started one. They started from phase 0, which they completed 1 million meters. I think about 950 was installed. But there were lots of discrepancies noted in that phase 0 of the mass metering program, and CBN refused to move to phase 1. We had a World Bank intervention to meter 1,250,000 households and businesses. They started it. There were issues, litigations. The Association of Meter Manufacturers of Nigeria, they took them to court that they cannot make it all imported. They must patronize them. That one also took a while. Not until I got to the office that I resolved this issue. And they now said, okay, let's go ahead. That one is still on. Now, Mr. President said, we cannot be doing all these petty initiatives. Let's do a big bang so that we can harmonize all the initiatives under one umbrella. And he created what we called Presidential Metering Initiative, the PMI. And he appointed the council. And by privilege, he made me the chairman of this council.
Okay.
The target he has given us is that Nigerians, in the next 5 years, nobody should have estimated billing again. Because metering is also expensive. What he has done is minimum of 2 million meters installation on a yearly basis over the next 4 to 5 years. That's about 10 million meters to be brought, to be installed in people's homes. And he's giving us a seed capital of about 100 billion, and we need about 400 to 500 billion on an annual basis to achieve this. You can see that it's huge fund that is required. Seed capital, 100 billion. We're going to have debt capital of another 400 billion. And we are already having support and assistance from NSIA. That's the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, to give that loan. And this thing will be paid back over a long time. So I can assure you that Mr. President is fast addressing the issue of metering. And we are going to get there, inshallah. Which is why I always like us to see power project as a journey. Because it takes a little bit of time. What you need to do is to begin that journey, and you'll be making progress on a yearly basis. When you are doing repairs, even the road, I made an example of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. It was being repaired, renovated, and upgraded for almost 12 years. During that repair, there were pains, even more pains than the usual.
Okay,
But when we finished, we started enjoying. So we must bear this a bit.
Concerning the issue of meeting, I'll come to Yamaka. Because Nigerians are saying that, okay, for those of us that are in the interim, paying estimated, can government do something to reduce the burden? Because sometimes these estimated billings are way past estimate.
But let me tell you, there's already a regulation on estimated billing. There's a cap. There's a maximum you can charge a customer.
Exactly. Do people know that?
Yes. Let me tell you, just a month ago, there were penalties and there were refunds made to customers in billions of naira.
Wow.
For those, billions.
I'm not hearing of things like
No, it was out in the papers. For those that we felt they overcharged the customers,
They did a bit.
NERC, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, said refund billions. I'm sure of that. I signed up.
did not get any refund.
Wow. And this is going to be continuous. We are going to be very, very, very strict with the management of the discos now.
Okay.
We are going to be very strict. There will be sanctions for non-compliance. Any disco that is indicted, you can see that even in this recent review of tariff upward, Abuja disco has been penalized 200 million. You understand? For actually putting together some communities as Band A when they are not enjoying Band A service. This will be because the Electricity Act of 2023 has allowed us to do this. In the past, the PSRA, the Power Sector Reform Act, did not allow us with punitive sanctions. 10,000 naira per day for a disco that is airing, that is being indicted. 10,000 naira per day for 30 days is just 300,000. For 1 year is 3.6 million. If any disco committed any offense, they'll just write a check of 3.6 million to NEC, and that is the end. But now, there is no limit to such penalties and sanctions. Before, the NEC was not given the power to remove the border management of discos when they err or they commit an offense. But now, the EA 2023 has amended that. So we have the power to do all this. But why we have not been seeing a lot of this is, I came into the office about 7-8 months ago. The first 3-4 months, you have to be on top of what you are doing. You must investigate the issues, establish genuine issues with this industry. Then list out or document workable solutions that you start implementing. So after 6 months, you now start implementing. So you can see that we have hit the ground running and we will not stop.
Let me go on a short break. When we come back, we'll start with Amaka. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's 7 of 7. My name is OJ, and signing a sobriety into my hands tonight on this social experiment called the 7 of 7 is Owen G. What is the name, or what was the name? You see, I want to make them better now.
Rock Heart.
No, of the goats when they brought it on stage.
The name of that goat.
Yeah.
We should go there.
No, that one easy now.
I'm just drinking this so that I can ask him my own questions. It's not because of
Buga.
He didn't get it. You know. Okay. Mention 10 female stand-up comedians in Nigeria. See, just mention their stage name. If you annoy me, you will mention their real names and the year they started. And if you annoy me further, you mention the names of their husbands and the names of their children. Try me now. Okay, mention their name.
Let's just.
No, wait. No, don't. No. Name, real name, stage name, husband name, children name. 10 of them.
Even the 10. That's a lot.
Eh?
That's a lot.
Did I cut your question for you?
Yes.
When you were happy now. Buga with your hunchback.
That was it.
Buga. You are wasting time. We don't have time. See, my brother, before we go on a commercial break, you are stubborn. And I told you since. The fact that you play this your hair does not mean, you understand? See this bad hair you are looking at. It's experience. I've suffered before you.
By China.
Were you there during the military era of Abacha and Babangida? You know what happened?
I be Gen Z.
So that
By
Gen
China,
Z,
I call for
I will remove 4 out of 10.
That's like
4 out of 10 they pass exam. Don't drink this thing. Where baby you are on here? Drink out. If I land you.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
It was great.
Okay,
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink. No problem.
Okay.
I've always known this as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have the Honorable Minister of Power, Mr. Adelabo, here in the midst of women, Council of Women, still answering to Nigerian women. Amaka, go ahead, please.
Okay, so Honorable Minister, in fairness to you, on one part too, I understand that energy sense is common sense, right? Yes. And I was brought up to turn off a room or power source. When I leave a room, I should turn that off if it's not in use, but not refrigerator. Mm-hmm. And now you've explained to us that it was a joke, yes. Right? Not intended the way, you know. So, and then I'm also happy you mentioned the Electricity Act. So let me come down to that. For example, Section 116 of the Act provides that was there in the first place to prevent abuse of market power. Do you think your office has adhered strictly to the provisions of Section 116 of the Act in terms of notifications? Yes.
Thank you very much. We did this, and I can confirm to you authoritatively. Let me tell you, the EA Act, that's the Electricity Act of 2023, signed in June 2023 by our principal, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is quite comprehensive and elaborate, and it has corrected all the errors of the past or previous legislations. Number one, it allows the National Electricity Regulatory Commission to undertake tariff review, minor review every 6 months, because tariff building block is made up of a lot of variable parameters. A lot of them are FX based, a lot of them are inflation based. So as prices of equipment, appliances, and running the power operators are going up, supposed to reflect in the tariff. Over 6 months may be minor review because of the shortness of the period. But after every 2 years, they are allowed to make major review to the tariff. The last review was done in 2022. Since 2022, we have seen escalation in price of goods and services, exchange rates, the transformers, the power cables, the power lines, and all that. Even the transmission towers. We are saying, okay, we have to do this review. And we have been contemplating this months back. What the section required us to do was to make wide consultation and notification to the people that will bear this tariff. I can tell you, NAC, they started these consultations long ago. You can confirm from the discourse, even from the electricity consumers at various locations. They did regional consultations, workshops, and seminars to sensitize people about the effect of liquidity squeeze in the sector and why tariff must be reviewed. They did that. Now, when I resumed, if you have been following my programs, I've always been hammering on the fact that the major issue, which other past administrations have shied away from discussing in this industry, there are two. Liquidity squeeze, lack of liquidity necessary for continuity and sustainability, then infrastructural deficit, which we must fix. And I said the only way out of this is for us to review the tariff. I've been saying it. And I consulted almost all the stakeholders in the sector, the GENCOs, the transmission company, the DISCOs, some customers, some consumers. And this culminated into a retreat that we had in December 14 to 16 at Transcorp Hilton, where we called ourselves to a 3-day retreat to discuss all this. And the major issue discussed was about the tariff review. So we did the wide consultation required. So we will not do anything that is outside of the law, that is illegal. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not even allow us to do that.
Right. So
I can say that we complied with the section that you raised.
Let me ask us, go back a bit to the issue of subsidy, because I looked at a report that by human rights lawyer, Mr. Femi Falana, said back in 2022 that the Buhari administration has stopped paying subsidy in power. Yes. And this is part of the thing that leads to people's lack of belief in the system. 1 second, you've stopped paying subsidy. The next second, you're saying that we are owing GENCOs and transfer. You're wondering what is going on. There's a lack of transparency. So help us clarify, because you're saying that there's money still being owed. He's saying that government stopped paying subsidy back in 2022.
Two things which I will clarify. Payment of subsidy is different from removal of subsidy. Sincerely, government has not been paying subsidy. I'm confirming that to you. If they had been paying subsidy, we would not have the historical debt that we have in the industry. It does not mean that they removed subsidy. If the last review of tariff, let's even say that, okay, as of 2022, it was close to cost-reflective tariff, where it was 69 for band A, about 54 for band B, down to 40-something for band E. Let's say it was close to. But between that 2022 and 2024, like I said earlier, we have seen movements in prices. We have seen exchange rate escalations. You understand? So which means, and we have not reviewed the tariff, which means that the cost of producing or generating and transmitting and distributing power has ballooned. The customers have not been made to pay. So the subsidy was there, but it was not being paid, which is why I said governments find it difficult to fund or to pay subsidy. In 2022, subsidy was 260 million. You understand? In 2023, subsidy was 720 billion, 260 billion. 2022, 2023, it was 720 billion, out of which only 400 was funded. There was a 320 billion that was brought forward because things were increasing then. In 2023, if we must retain the tariff at the current level, government requires 2.9 trillion as subsidy. We're saying this is too much. Let us see how we can actually bring it down. And I mean, my gratitude to the president. He stood his ground. He said, Bayo, we cannot remove subsidy 100%. I was voted in to remove the sufferings of Nigeria, to alleviate their predicaments. I should not be adding to this. We've done enough in the two of harmonizing exchange rates and the other one of removing subsidy from fuel. So whatever we can do to meet them middle ground, for those that can afford it, you understand? Let us do it. I said, I'm not approving.
Because you see our pockets.
A is feeling like
you see our pockets, and you know we can afford it.
We are not punishing.
To punish you.
From that account, I said,
at the end of the day, they are better off. If let me tell you what
because they are getting the power supply.
They are getting it. If they are getting it,
because
they are better off.
We do have a bigger problem. You know, we've discussed the challenge because obviously we've discussed the challenge of the subsidy. Now Nigerians know that government has been subsidizing power for them for many years, and it wasn't paid under the last administration, which is why there is a pile-up. We get that. We also understand the fact that what we are paying now, what you are asking Band A to pay, is it cost reflective?
It is.
It is cost reflective.
So we're not subsidizing Band A for now. And again, the building blocks contain a lot of variable parameters. The exchange rate is there. Now that we have seen downward trending,
would that affect?
It will affect it. It will affect it.
Now, for generating,
yes,
the entire generation of Nigeria, pata bring together, is not enough to solve the problem of Lagos State's need.
We know.
And it seemed like we are not even talking enough about the need to increase generation. can you please?
Even what's being generated, we're not even consuming it.
No, because there's even stories that we cannot transmit.
No, we
so
they
say we don't have capacity for transmission, sir. We've read it in the papers that our transmission is many years old and the equipments are old. And I would blame Nigerians for when Nigeria is just as I would blame government for it, because they say even when the government puts in new equipment, Nigerians will go there and go and steal the new equipment. So you don't need to go. We've yabbed ourselves, we've yabbed our people, we have called ourselves out. But we are calling out the government on generation and transmission. How are you holding Gencos accountable to increase their capacity, and how are we ensuring that transmission is able to carry what we say they should transmit? So
thank you so much. Like I told you, I'm an accountant. So when it comes to businesses, I know a lot of things that are supposed to be in place for that business to be able to run seamlessly. You understand? The generation that we have today, we have majorly two forms. The hydropower electric generation, where we have Kanji, we have Jeba, we have Shiroro, we have Gurara, Kashingila, Dadinkoa, and the other one that we are just about, that's Zungeru. We just completed. It's supplying about 25% of our total power installed. The gas-powered plants that they call thermal plants, the Egbins of this world, Olonshogo, Omotosho, Iwobo, Afam, Ugeli, Giregu, and others, is about 75% of our generation.
Okay.
You understand? Hydro requires water, which is
it's cheaper,
which is available. You understand? Even during the dry season, the water level goes down, the pressure comes down, but that's for a short period. The thermal plants, they require gas as feedstock, more like the raw materials for them to produce. This gas is also not cheap. You understand? Which is why when government has not been paying them, it's been difficult for them to pay the gas suppliers. And the gas pipeline infrastructure too is also defective. You see pipeline vandalization, the pressure not being enough, no compressor, no booster here and there. The installed capacity totally in Nigeria today for the national grid, because we have other embedded plants that are within a state or within and some captive within a particular company. For the national grid, total installed capacity today, hydro plus gas, is over 13,000 megawatts. But the highest we have ever generated was 5,800 megawatts, specifically in March 2021. And the national grid was able to wheel 5,800 to our people. Yes.
Okay.
But the issue is demand. In as much as our power requirement is huge, we generate a lot of power in Nigeria, over 50,000 megawatts. But a lot of them are generated in houses and companies using generator, fuel, and diesel. But the national grid, when the discos get this power and they supply it to all the feeders, there are some feeders that distribute to households to be able to collect their money. But a lot of the feeders, you understand, to the lower band customers, when they distribute, they won't be able to collect the money. And there's also a lot of power theft. So disco started rejecting power.
Yeah, we read that.
To those feeders, you understand? So the demand became so low, so that even generating companies cannot even produce based on their capacity because of lack of stimulation of demand. That's what we are trying to do now, to stimulate demand first, then ramp up generation. That's number one. Number two is inadequacy of gas supply, not only in quantity but also in quality, because of the vandalized pipelines, the lack of compressors, lack of boosters. Before power gets from the Niger Delta, before it gets to Omotosho power plant in Ore, the quality is poor and the pressure is low. Before talking about getting to Olonshogo power plant in Papalanto, in fact, no quality. Which is why you see a lot of these generating plants. They will have 6 turbines. For example, Olonshogo. I've visited all these locations because if I start telling you what we have done, since I got to the office, we will not leave this place today. But to Nigerians, sorry, just 1 minute. To Nigerians, once they cannot stand up and switch on the light and the light comes on, you have not done anything. Which is why distribution is very important to us. Whatever we're doing in generation or in transmission, if it's not translating into distribution, we have not done. So we are doing so much. And these are the underground issues that we need to resolve. So those are the issues with the generating companies. And the target that we have today is, once we have seen the demand coming back up, I promise Nigerians that within the next 6 months, we are going to ramp up our generation to minimum of 6,000 to start with.
Okay.
And every 6 months, we'll be ramping it up.
Okay, sir.
And our transmission grid has the capacity. If it could will 5,800 as far back as March 2021, 3 years ago, with all the investment in enhancement and upgrade of infrastructure in transmission, it will over 6,000. And TCN management is telling me that they are sure of 8,100 capacity for this. And there are also projects we are doing to make sure that we upgrade the capacity of the transmission infrastructure.
Okay, me, I am bothered because I know I'm going to be on the band A.
You are, obviously.
So the band A, so how are you ensuring that most of the meters are not going to be bypassed?
Yes.
To make sure that I get what I pay for. The reason why I'm asking this question is because, okay, for example, some people who stay in rented apartments in those band A, whatever, these meters that you're giving, is it our personal meters? Is it for us? So that such that when we are moving to another house, are we going to move with our meter? Because if I move to another house and maybe that person bypassed his meter, I'll go there now and
so let me attach my question to her question.
Yes.
Because my question is similar to hers in the sense that, so there are people who are having power theft. There are people who are bypassing, who are stealing power.
Yes.
Now those guys, I mean, it seems like when you make band A pay for this 225, you're making us pay for the inefficiencies of discos to catch or to regulate those people who are involved in power theft. You are stealing power. They're not paying. There's no money. So the reason why you're not getting money is because you're not making sure.
The ones that we can collect
so
from.
those people who are always paying, people like Ramat and Tokwe who are always paying, you're not to collect more money from them because they're the ones that
make up for the ones that
make up for those who are. So is that fair on us?
Exactly.
And let me
how you ensuring
this will be used as?
I can answer everything at once. So how do you now? So what's the disciplinary action against the discos now for not doing their job? Because if they don't do their job,
You
it
don't
falls
get
back on
20
the
hours.
consumers, right?
To add a part C to that question, sorry, because I heard you yesterday saying that even the discos were not technically ready or financially ready for this job.
Yes.
They didn't have the capacity to even do the job that they are doing. So what are you also doing to ensure to make them do the right thing so that we don't have to suffer for it?
Yes.
Thank you very much. There are so many questions wrapped up in one. But I can assure you I will take it one after the other without wasting time. Number one, let me say that the tariff fixing is based on identified as stated parameters.
Okay.
You cannot pay for the power theft being committed by another customer. It's not possible. There is transparency there's transparency in the computation of tariff. And the parameters are well stated. The capital investment of the generating companies, their operations and maintenance, the adjustment for exchange rate, gas cost, inflation rate, and a lot of things. It is stated. And you cannot slot in anything.
Okay.
That is neck for you. So number one. Number two, which is why I said the problem in the power sector is so much and huge and it has accumulated over time. And I'm happy that you're also on top of what these issues are, which make my job easy. The power theft or bypassing of meter is prevalent in our society. Even there are some affluent individuals, when they are starting their construction, it's right from the foundation that they ask the contractors
to remove some things
are not connected to the meter. And they are also part of people that will be complaining that they are not having stable power. You can see that we are actually the ones that we are the architect of our own misfortunes. And we'll correct it. There's what we call now, which is why you will not see the discos asking to go and buy your meter if you don't have meter. Because there must be standardization and compliance to some certain technical standards. But above all, there's what we call meter data management system, MDMS. So when we are implementing this, our mass meter acquisition program, every disco must have an MDMS so that remotely from their office, they can monitor activities on your meter. When you bypass, it will alert them. If they want to switch you down, they can switch you off from their office.
Is that the reason they are asking everybody to get the new meters, right?
Yeah, the smart meters. The smart meters can do all this. When we are able to do all this, bypassing will not be possible. Tampering with meter will not be possible. Because there's what we call NEMSA, the Nigerian Electricity Management Service Agency, which are the chief inspector, technical inspector of the industry, they must certify every meter now and ensure that every meter comply with the technical standards as specified. So I'm saying that all those problems of the past, we have put them in like a pool
if you have
or a bucket, and we are picking them one after the other to be resolving. And you trust me, problem of 50 years, over 50 years, will not be resolved in 1 year.
But we've had
we must be making progress. I'm the 47th Power Minister in Nigeria
Yes,
today.
we interviewed the 46th.
The 46. Were they not? They were brilliant people, patriotic, smart people, ready to write their names in gold, ready to make a difference. But there's a way the sector has disenabled them to perform the way they wanted to perform. But the president said, what happened to your predecessors will not happen to you. Just have the boldness, the courage to do the right thing. So far, you are fair on Nigerians. And that's what we are doing. And we are ready to make a difference. And I will make the difference. But we should trust the judgment of Mr. President.
Okay.
He put me there because he believes I can handle it. And I'm assuring you that I've never failed. My past responsibilities in the past. I will not fail. I will make a difference. I'm promising Nigeria.
You talked about the certification of the meters, and that is the board. I hope it's not like the Nigerian thing where people are supposed to do a job and then they just they take their time. What is the time frame in which, if you submit, you buy a meter, you submit, you pay for a meter? What's the time frame from when you do that to when you the timeline?
So that it's not frustrating.
So it's not frustrating because
I understand
you already know Nigeria.
I understand you. Yeah. You know, this is new Nigeria, and we are all working at it. It's my job. It's your job. It's everybody's responsibility. Exactly. When you see something, say something. You cannot guarantee people 100% that they will comply with the new sheriff in town. They are there to also sabotage what we are doing. I told you, there are cabals, there are cartels, and there are orcs in this sector too that will not make this sector work. You understand? Because of their own selfish interest. But we are saying, no, it won't be possible. When you see such, please do not hesitate to escalate, and we will attend to it. We are putting the structures, the systems, and the institutions in place to ensure a long-term sustainability of this sector. So it won't be a flash in the pan. We are addressing the root cause of all these issues, not just addressing the symptoms. That is why it will not, you won't say it immediately. But let me tell you, before 1-2 years, you will start singing
People are asking
our
them
praise.
to fire you because they said, this guy, he's an accountant. Why do you make him a power minister? What does he know? They're saying hashtag, the power minister must go. Now somebody has said, all this English he's speaking. I have a comment here. She's from Moni. She says, we don't understand all this grammar. The ministry cannot boast of anything it has achieved so far since his administration started. How long does it take to implement all this English? To the average Nigerian, there's a lot going on.
But I have comments on the
That's the patience.
Yes. Okay. I have several comments on the contrary. Adnam says, I'm convinced Tokwe is doing a good job. People should pay for their bills and stop stealing power. Somebody, as in, I have several YouTube comments are convinced based on what you're saying that you're convinced. But I have a question, so we have both sides.
Sincerely, it's not a popularity contest. we just want power. Sincerely, it's to do the job. It does not matter what people say.
Yes.
The end will justify the means. I can tell you. These are temporary comments. By the time we are able to see
6 months we're holding you. You said 6,000
megawatts.
We are holding. What month are we in now? We're in April, May,
for the end of
June,
this year.
July,
For the end of the
August,
year.
September, October will call you back.
We will have 6,000 megawatts generated.
Come and sit down. You are said here.
I'm coming here anytime.
Go ahead.
Okay, your question, please.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you.
I know that you are aware of what is happening, the disruption between NESI by the Eco Electric Distribution Company. You know, we've read damning reports, emails establishing acts of fraud through ghost workers, you know. So what exactly is happening with the Eco Distribution Company, and what is your office doing? What's your office going to do to mitigate this crime that we have seen? How are
Allegations.
Allegations.
Thank you for correcting that.
Allegations of crime, sir.
Allegation backed with evidence is crime.
Yes.
At this point, you know, an accused, the suspect is not deemed guilty until he's proved. Thank you very much. Let me tell you, it's all about regulation. Just like you have in banks. When you're having board issues in a commercial bank, or any bank for that matter, the CBN is the regulator. To start with, you should not meddle in the internal operations, internal wranglings of a private company.
Right.
Not until you start seeing that this thing is going to degenerate into a level that will affect the customers that are supposed to be serving. We are on top of the issues that they are in EcoDisco. I've spoken to the chairman several times. I've spoken to the other directors several times. And I've spoken to even the MD, Tino Adesonda, several times. What I've done, let me tell you, well, people need to understand the job of the minister very well too. The minister is the last result. I provide oversight, general oversight for the industry. You have the operators. I don't own a generating company. I don't own a transmission company. I don't own a distribution company. So my job is medium to long term to ensure that I expedite national development through formulation of the appropriate policies and establishment of appropriate structures, systems, and institutions to provide the conducive atmosphere for the operators to run and guarantee long-term sustainability of the power sector so that we'll be able to provide stable, functional, reliable, and cost-effective electricity to households, businesses, and industries. Between the operators and me as the minister, there's also the regulator who directly regulate their daily operations. Okay. What I've done was to call the chairman of the regulator. More minutes, intervene. He has held meeting with them. Okay. Let us see how far.
That's okay.
Your field marshal don't go to war with you. Yeah. If the regulators cannot resolve it, then it comes to me, and I will meet with everybody, and we will wield the bills.
No, we have very little time, so we have to squeeze as many questions as possible.
We have to protect the consumers.
Okay.
Consumer protection is one of my major issues, major responsibility, to ensure that customers are not unduly.
I need to ask you about Siemens.
Thank you.
We're just hearing Siemens here,
yes.
Siemens there. They're in the country, they're doing this, are they coming to collect our jobs? Are they bringing transformers? Are they taking transformers? We're just hearing Siemens, but we don't know what are they doing in Nigeria. What is their work?
Thank you very much. You know, the Siemens project, just give me 2-3 minutes to explain this. Okay. If you also listen to our last press conference, I gave some detailed explanation about Siemens. Siemens project started 2018 under the Buhari's administration. And what did they say? Oh, they went to Egypt and they saw what Siemens did together with SWAD. About 8,000 or 13,000 megawatts they were able to produce, able to transmit and distribute within a period of, say, 5 years. And they said, this is what we want. Let it be a turnkey. Give it Siemens. Let them work on our transmission and distribution segments. We have the generation, you understand, to make sure that it is taken up to the level that they witnessed in Egypt. And they appointed a project champion who happened to be the chief of staff then, late Abba Kyari of blessed memory, to champion this. And they started, you understand. They agreed on a government-to-government agreement that the German government, through their export credit agency, will give Nigeria a $2.3 billion loan to fund these projects. And they will appoint their own company, which is Siemens, to oversee the project. That was the idea. The process of signing, of looking at the agreement, of everything, of course, it took time. 2018 to 2020. 2020, there was COVID. You understand? It slowed it down. And unfortunately, it was during this COVID that the project champion died. He passed. You understand? 2021, we started transition. Elections, new government coming, so there was no traction during that period. You understand? And the project was supposed to be in phases. There's what they call the pilot phase that will serve as a proof of concept to see that, is this project going to solve our problem? Once we are satisfied with the pilot, we'll go to phase 1, we'll go to phase 2. When the government of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu came in, they said, let's look at this project. How is it going? You know, a project that you are not part of the initiation, you need to review, how it has fared over time before you now decide whether to move on or to cut it. There has not been any financial commitment of anybody. Wow. You can easily say that we don't want or we want. But when we looked at it, the German Chancellor came to Abuja. He met with the president. I was there. And we discussed. So, there is some sense in continuing with this project too. Let's look at it. We also went to meet them at the African Business Summit in Berlin, in Germany. We sat down again with the Chancellor of Germany, and their own finance minister, energy minister and the finance minister, we looked at it and we agreed that, no, this is a good project. Germany was still committed. Nigeria was ready to continue. We said, okay, we now have to sign an acceleration agreement that will make sure that we kickstart the project again to be able to achieve the laudable objectives that they had from the beginning. And we agreed, okay, that was in November. Let's meet in Dubai at COP28. And you see that our president was there, the German chancellor was there, Siemens was there, and our own SPV, that's the special purpose vehicle created for it, FGM Power Company, was there. And the acceleration agreement was signed.
Okay.
And they agreed that they are going to continue. We agreed that we are going to continue. Since then, what has happened? We started the pilot phase. This December till date, we are almost concluding the pilot phase. The pilot phase involves importation of 10 big power transformers.
Okay.
An importation of 10 power mobile substations for us to fix in various locations across the country. For the power transformers, the 10 have arrived. We have installed and commissioned 5. I was in Kogi, I was in Jeba, I was in Iwobo in Benin, I was in Abuja, and one place in Kano to install and commission all this. And ask them, it has boosted the capacity of transmission. Remaining 5, they are installing them.
That's supporting transmission.
Transmission.
So
I'm coming in the next 2 weeks, 2 weeks to 1 month, I should be able to commission the remaining 5. For the mobile substation, that's the very interesting part. You know what they call a substation? Those 330 kV substation, where you see all the high voltage power line, or 132 kV substation. Those are transmission substations that supply power to the distribution company, which is stepped down to 33 kV and 11 kV to be taken to your house at 450 volts. All those substations take between 3 and 5 years to establish. Yes, because they have to manufacture the transformer, they have to fix it, they have to do the lines. But the mobile substations that we have, if there is a problem in any of those permanent substations,
they can
before now, the people may not have light for 1 year or 2 years. But now, we can drive it down from the Lagos yard, the NEPSA yard here, and within 1 day, drive the substation down to the place, you understand, and do the connection in 2 days, and restore lights.
No, we have
10 of that. We have installed 3. We are commissioning it next week. 1 in Aja, 1 in Kano, and another one in, what they call it, Agbara, the industrial cluster. We have 7 left that we are going to be taken to where they have transmission issues. That is the impact of substations. We'll now go to phase 1, which is the bigger part that will address both transmission and distribution. We change transformers, we change power lines, we change power poles.
Let me throw in one question.
Injection substation.
Let me throw in one question for the masses, right? Because the economy is hard and everybody.
You know, I need 3 hours for this kind of interview, so that Nigeria will know
who is responsible
what
for
we are
the
doing.
replacement from the old meter to the smart meter, and then what happens to the money that we paid for the old meter? Would there be a subsidy from discos, or like what's going on? Because people already have old meter. What's going to encourage them to move on to the smart meter?
And people don't have meters.
And people don't even have meters at all. Some people have old meters and they're still giving them. They just feel like it's not working. You don't want them to move to smart meter. So what's going on?
Another question. There is someone. Auntie Yenny sends this question that there's somebody she knows. 5 weeks now they don't have transmitter. The transformer went bad. The company, the discos have told them that there are hotels in that place. They should contribute money to buy transformer, and the hotels are saying they don't want to carry that body because they bought the previous one. Please help us address the question concerning changing meters that are already working for new one when some people don't have. And who is carrying the cost? And who is carrying the cost for replacing transformers? Some are months without lights because of no transformer.
Thank you very much.
You have just 2 minutes.
Okay, the issue of meter, let me tell you, if you have installed meters recently in the last 1 to 2 years, they are smart meters. The only thing they need to do is to configure it to fit the meter data management system with the MDMS. So you don't need to change your meters, except the old archaic analog meters, which are no longer compliant with the smart meter requirements. That's number 1. And when we give out meters, there'll be an arrangement that government will make sure it does not inflict hardship on the consumers, to ensure that it is paid over time in a way that you don't even feel it. That's the arrangement. Then the issue of transformers, I have said it severally that provision of transformer is not the responsibility of the consumers. It is the duty of the discos. It's part of their distribution infrastructures, which they are collecting tariff for. The cost of transformer is built inside the tariff. You understand? And we know that there are some areas that are attracted to some discos, that they can abandon them because they are low-income area, they won't be able to get their money. As the minister, I have a budget that is also buoyant enough for government intervention in these areas, so that we will distribute thousands of transformers across Nigeria. I'm promising you that. And I've said it several times. When we start implementing this budget, we'll identify those areas and ensure that government intervene by providing transformers. Even there are some rural areas where we are going to provide alternative source of energy. The mini grids, the micro grids for the small agri businesses, for the rural schools, rural hospitals, even for homes. We have solar home systems too that we can actually give to these people. You understand? And even street lights for security. There are solar systems. So our REA is doing a lot. In fact, we also plan to bring out a number of our federal institutions, universities, and teaching hospitals out of the national grid and give them their own mini grid. And in the next 1 or 2 weeks, we are commissioning about 8 universities that we are giving
we have to wrap up
4 megawatts of power, so that they don't have to rely on national grid. The last thing I want to mention here before I leave is the subnational governments must also rise up.
The governors,
the local government chairman. The EA Act has allowed all of them to play in power. You see what happened in Abia State. That's a backup power for the states. If anything happens to the national grid, they don't have to suffer. Every state must have not less than 50 megawatts of power, and we are working on that with the solar source of power that we are working.
We should hold our governors also responsible.
They must be responsible too, even in managing the discos, because government still own 40% of the disco. Out of this 40%, state government own almost 25%. Why are they not getting involved? They should call them to performance. It's not every. I'm in Abuja, one person. You know, we have 36 states to manage. If you have the support of the governors to assist us, it's going to be easier for us. You understand? And the private sector too are being called upon that. This EA has made everything possible for everybody to participate in the power sector. So my last appeal to Nigeria is that they should still be patient with us. They should have the trust and confidence, and with time, will make significant difference.
Thank you very much.
This
That's all
industry.
we can take on the show. Thank you so
The
much.
pity, there's not much time. Now come back.
I know Elijah
Thank you
Nima wanted to be here until first she's traveled to the fastest. She really she had plenty bullets for you.
I know.
But she couldn't make it.
You can still contact me after the program.
We'd like to bring you back. So definitely
3 months. We're giving
6 months. October.
So let's just even start with 3
months. Okay.
I will come before then.
Then come again.
Dollar can easily talk to me. And
that's all we can take on
Thank
today's
you very
show.
much.
Hope you've enjoyed the show and learned a few things as we have. Have a great weekend. We'll see you with the YourView Pigeon tomorrow morning. Have a great weekend. See you Monday. Bye-bye.